Hello and welcome back to another business endpoint protection review. We have TrendMicro Worry free protection and going up against Vipre endpoint protection for business. So we have TrendMicro on the left. It's a very small minimalistic window, kind of like F-Secure we tested before. So it's a little window pop-up, you can scan, you can update. It just gives you like a little overview of what's happening. Obviously protection is enabled, gives you logs. So it just quickly shows you what's happening. The tools is just to say log maintenance or alerts and things like that. And then we've got tools. There's the diagnostics tool in case support needs that, but that's all. So if you have here your connection status, so it shows what modules are enabled. So obviously POP and DLP and AP, we haven't enabled that because it's not relevant for this test. So for the TrendMicro dashboard, we'll quickly jump to it. So this is how it looks like. Looks modern. I like the color schemes, nice soft colors. So you can quickly install, configure and integrate. If you have to do LDAP, you can do it from here, and obviously other features. So let's look at the endpoints. We have one manual group, and that's the malware test group. So that's this endpoint connected just now. You select your endpoint, you can scan, you can stop the scans, you have tasks to update, encrypt, decrypt, etc. And you can easily add your devices, not as difficult as I've mentioned before with Kaspersky. You obviously have your users to have different roles and functions, policies, global policies, got the reports, logs and settings, and then obviously the dashboard overview again. So let's quickly look at our endpoint. So the policy that's applied is the malware test endpoint, so we'll go to that one. Okay, so under scan settings, smart mode is enabled, real-time scanning is enabled, configure is all scannable files created, modified and retrieved. IntelliTrap. So IntelliTrap is a TrendMicro heuristic technology used to discover threats that uses real-time compression paired with other malware characteristics like packers. So it's their patent technology, I would assume. Quarantine malware variants, scan map drives, scan compressed files, maximum layer 2 layers. I don't think any of the malwares would have more than 3, but let's maybe make it 3 for fun. Okay, so action is active action. So active action is a set of pre-configured scan actions for specific types of viruses or malware. TrendMicro recommends using active action if you are not sure. Okay, so we'll leave it to that and we'll say clean. Okay, behavior, it's on, it's blocked, known and potential threats. All the ransomware stuff is enabled, anti-exploit is enabled, etc. Machine learning is enabled, files is to quarantine, processes is set to terminate, vulnerability protection is on, web protection is enabled, is set to high, URLs is also, and behavior exploit, browser exploit, firewall is enabled, we set it to high to block incoming and outgoing traffic, and IDS is enabled. Device control is enabled, but not really going to use it. URL filtering also not going to use it, but it is set to that. Let's maybe set it to medium rather. And the rest, so scan exclusions for files, our script has been excluded, and the same for behavior monitoring. The script's been excluded, but no programs, file extensions. These are by default excluded, so we're leaving it as is. And yeah, that's about it. Let's just save the profile. Takes 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, events, not really anything. Tasks. Okay, let's go back to information. Let's go back to the endpoint. Okay, so also quickest way for profiles to update for the majority of these vendors is just to hit the update. It checks for updates and checks for new configuration changes. Then we don't have to wait the average time period. Okay, synchronizing. Okay, while we wait for that, we'll go to Vipre. So the trial that we received from Vipre is a local ERA. I'm not sure if Vipre actually has a cloud console. Maybe for those who use business Vipre, stumble upon this video one day, maybe you can let us know. But for our evaluation, this is what we received. So we're not sure if there is a cloud version. As you can see, the console is not really difficult to navigate, but it looks a bit dated and old, especially the icons and these little script pages look something out of the medieval ages. Okay, so if you look at site properties, shows you your activation key, but that's fine, that's just a trial key, you guys can't use it. Agent installations, you got roaming agents, updates, blah blah, firewall templates, and etc. Okay, so then you have stuff here to quarantine. You can install the agents from here, so that's fairly easy to do. It just gives you an overview. So we've got one endpoint obviously in our test folder, so we'll quickly go to that one. Okay, so TrendMicro is having a fit there with its flashes, but I think it's updating. Okay, we'll look at our desktop. Okay, so these are the statuses for it. You can look your quarantine, your scans, email, AV history. So you got like a good overview of what it is doing. So we'll look at policy properties. Okay, it seems like TrendMicro still software is updating. Okay, so this is the policy. So you have your interfaces. So you can allow users to do things or not to do things from here. User prompts, show balloon messages. Okay, so we've disabled automatic reboot. Actions, disable Windows Defender, we obviously don't want that, and also to integrate with the WSC. Updates, to check updates. Communication, those are just port numbers and etc. Okay, cool. So under scanning, we said allow users to scan files and folders via right click, so a context menu scan is enabled. Okay, full scan. Scan priority is set to normal, all drives, options, cookies, rootkits. When scan is completed, do nothing because we want the machine to stay on. Custom scans, quick scans, advanced protection. So you guys won't be able to see it because the window is a bit small, but it's all the way to the right, because you'll see if we click on the middle, it goes back to high risk only or execution. So if we move all the way to the right, it is the highest level of protection. So it's enabled, block processes and notify user. It's on the highest level of protection. User control. Okay, email protection is enabled, but it's not relevant. Advanced network. So allowed websites, nothing. Blocked websites, nothing. Malicious, set to default. Web exploits on. Check all of this. DNS protection is enabled. Remediation, so we said adware is to quarantine. Applications also, all of them have set to be quarantined. Okay, we look at exceptions, exclusions. Those are the default exclusions. Let's maybe add our file. I actually did not do that. Okay, now it is excluded. We'll apply it. Okay, we're not going to use email alerts, so IDS is enabled. High priority, low and medium, all set to block with notify. These are obviously all the rules for that, and it's enabled for the rules. Firewall, we've got a basic and advanced. So under basic, it's enabled. Enable stealth mode, so if anything tries to scan for it, that hopefully can evade it. These are all the rules. Trusted and allowed, so we left that as is. Network exceptions, nothing, we left it as is. Advanced exceptions, nothing. Trusted zones, under advanced, it's enabled. Boot time protection, etc. Block and notify for process injections or processes that are trying to be modified. Device control, patch management. So as you guys can see, you can do quite a lot from the dashboard. And you've got your agent installation, configurations, and etc. So that's pretty much that for the profile. So everything is enabled. What I can maybe do is, let's just quickly put this to full view. Maybe this will help. So I can just show you guys exactly what it's asking for those of you who are maybe uncertain. Okay, still doesn't do it. Okay, never mind. That was a lost cause. Okay, so that is the policies. You've obviously got Hyper-V policies, etc., etc. Protected computers, settings, blah blah blah. So we'll quickly look at Vipre. So you guys will see this. For me, there's a clear difference on how the console looks like and how the endpoint GUI looks like. This looks more modern, where that not so modern. But nonetheless, so this is the Vipre. It looks pretty snazzy, I must say. You can also view settings from here. So it's enabled, stealth mode, exactly as it is from the console. Active protection, custom, so it scan all the cookies and all that stuff. So here's the management stuff. Vipre updates, we'll check for Vipre updates now. And this is to scan and overview. So protection settings, as we saw, active protection is enabled, blah blah blah. Scan options, firewall, etc. So yeah, the console looks pretty snazzy. We'll just make sure that Vipre is also up to date. Okay, we're going to jump back to TrendMicro so that we can disable the real-time shield, so we can extract the malware. Okay, real-time shield disabled. Let's maybe make sure that behavior monitoring doesn't interfere, and that as well. Okay, cool. So let's save that. Let's jump back to our machine. Say update. Okay, well, we've got quite a bit of malware, also our latest malware for the last 6 days, I think. Okay, let's get this process going. So before it extracts, we'll disable it. Okay, let's go back to our policy. We'll disable that. Okay, it's still updating. Let's just wait. I'm not sure how long it takes for the policy to be updated though. Let's just maybe disable it for an argument of time. we're still waiting for TrendMicro. Okay, cool, there we go. Finally showed the real-time shield is disabled. Let's just make sure that the vendor is not going to interfere. Okay, seems like Vipre is not interfering. And yeah, seems like it's not going to interfere. One of the vendor seems to have enabled, although the policy says to disable. Sorry for that, guys. We'll need to do the extraction again. Okay, let me just fast forward through this, skip the boring stuff, and we'll come back to it now. Okay, so all the malware has been extracted, so let's look at our malware quantities. Okay, 1601, 1601, and obviously one of them is the script, so 1600 malware samples. Let's jump back to TrendMicro. So enable behavior, and the real-time scanning is enabled. We'll say save. We'll jump back to Vipre. So as you can see, Vipre Endpoint protection will scan any file on your system every time that it's been touched. So if we move it back to high risk, extensions, blah blah blah, so as you can see, we're moving it to the higher end protection. So we'll apply. Okay, and we're back. So we have Process Explorer, wrong button. Check and submit. Same for TrendMicro. Check and submit. Okay, so TrendMicro did an update and its green protection is enabled and the exclamation mark went away, so it says online and enabled. Okay guys, so I think we can start the test. TrendMicro is obviously using a bit of high disk, so hopefully TrendMicro's worry free would actually be worry free, and we hopefully won't need to start to panic. And same with Vipre. Let's see if we can have a pair of snake boots, or if actually Vipre is going to survive this test. So let's fire away. Okay, Vipre immediately gave us a pop-up. That was really quick. Known badge file was blocked from opening. Okay, let's see, show details. Okay, so very straightforward. Gives you message IDs, blah blah blah. Okay, so Vipre is doing its thing. We're still waiting for TrendMicro to give us pop-ups. Let's maybe look at the dashboard. Okay, no logs yet. No reports. Okay, cool. So there's our first two events. So it's obviously doing it. Says it's quarantined. Let's look at the details. Okay, it's a Trojan. And obviously one of the Excel files. Okay, cool. So it seems like they're all working. They're doing their thing. So I'll inform you guys. But for now, let's just wait till the test is done. Okay guys, so it seems Vipre is done with the test. That was pretty fast, I must say. I think that's a record. So it blocked 86 threads. If we look at the dashboard for the quarantine, there's quite a bit of malware in here. Okay, so that's the malware that's in quarantine. Oh, that's the audit row, sorry. This is actually the malware in quarantine. So this is the malware that's in quarantine. It's quite a bit of malware that's been quarantined. So it wants to reboot to remove a malware. TrendMicro did a restart, as you guys can see. So Vipre wants to we want to do this update quickly. Let me just close all of this. Close this malware. Okay, so Vipre wants to reboot, so let's do the reboot now. Okay, Vipre is rebooting. As soon as TrendMicro is up and running, I'll continue the test on TrendMicro. Okay guys, we are back. So this is a pop-up on the Vipre machine. So I think Vipre is done. I don't see the icon as of yet. Let's just open up the dashboard. TrendMicro, Process Explorer is not opening. So I'll just continue the test on TrendMicro. Just want to see if I can get Vipre open. Okay, violations, go. Okay, so TrendMicro is executing malware again. Okay, cool. Finally Vipre showed up. I was a bit worried there. Okay, so 91 threads blocked. It should actually be more. Let's just start the VSS services. Okay, cool. That's fine. It started on its own. Okay, so quite a bit of malware in the quarantine. Let's quickly check what Process Explorer has to say. Okay, I can't see really anything quickly that's running, so that's a good thing. Okay, so it's updating the definitions. As soon as the definitions are updated, I'll start the full scan for Vipre, but it's still executing malware on TrendMicro. Okay guys, I just want to give an update. So Vipre is still scanning. Doesn't seem like it found any infections so far. TrendMicro is still executing. This seems like a Russian version of TeamViewer. I'm not sure. I can't even actually read the language, but obviously ID and password. I want to see if someone can actually remotely connect to this machine, but I have absolutely no idea what it's saying. Maybe I can use Google Lens, but it seems like it's like a rat tool. I'm not sure. I don't even know what I'm clicking on. Okay, yeah, so I just wanted to give an update. Malware is still executing. Hopefully it's not too far from done, or hopefully it doesn't restart again. I have this ready in case I can catch it in time maybe. But yeah, malware is still running. I'll let you guys know. Okay guys, and TrendMicro is finally done. We have the same laggy mouse movement as we had on F-Secure and Kaspersky, but not for Vipre. Okay, so I'm just going to close out the final messages. Just closing out all these malware notifications, quite a lot of them. Oh, there's one more malware here. Okay, I think TrendMicro did ask for a restart, if I'm not mistaken. Not on the pop-ups itself, but I saw it on the interface. Let's see if it still wants to. Yeah, computer restart is required. There's no option to restart it via TrendMicro that I can see. Even if we do right click. Nope. Okay, so I'm just going to do a normal Windows restart. Obviously the firewall and network viruses are obviously popping up quite a bit, so we're just gonna do a restart. Once it's up and running again, we'll update it and do a full scan as well. Okay guys, so it seems that Vipre is finished. Seems the majority of the malware is high risk level malware. Okay, so seems everything is clean, full scan, it's done. Okay, just gonna do a restart on this machine, and then I'm gonna start with the third-party opinion scans. Okay everyone, I'm back at my desk. Sorry for the delay. I had to wait for TrendMicro to finish the scan, and it took quite some time, as you can see, 6 hours. We're already done with all the tests on the Vipre machine. So I just wanted to show TrendMicro's results. Okay, so the scan is complete, so it removed The first scan removed, I think it was 515 malware. Then the machine got stuck. I had to do a forced restart, and then I started the scan again. This is the one that ran for 6 hours, and it found another 14 threads. So it removed a couple of hundred threads. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to restart the machine, and then start with the third-party opinion scans. Okay guys, I just want to point this out that I'm having a bit of a hard time on the TrendMicro machine. You'll notice that there's a bunch of explorer.e messages. You'll see when we close the settings, it will just come up again. Give it a couple of seconds, boom, it's back again. You close it, and it comes back again. You close it, and it comes back. Hence why we have all these error messages. So there's something seriously wrong with this machine. It's making third-party scans a bit difficult, because we'll have to keep on closing it to see the results. So I think what I'm going to do is going to see if I can get this closed. If not, I'll just have to restart the machine again. Hopefully that will sort it out. If not, then I'll see what I can do. Welcome back everyone. Sorry for the delay. TrendMicro took extremely long time to do its scans, especially the third-party opinion scans. Took quite a couple of hours, but obviously I want to give you guys accurate and true results, so I had to wait. Okay, so let's look at all the pop-ups for TrendMicro. Luckily that Explorer thing is not coming up again after the restart. Okay, as you guys can see, same laggy mouth movement, not the same on the Vipre machine. Okay, so we've got everything closed. Okay, let's look at Hitman Pro. Okay, so malware on directly on the C drive, then app data, that same Defender thing. App data again, a bunch of stuff in app data. Then malware on the desktop, then app data again, malware on the desktop, then app data roaming, another one there. Okay, so as you guys can see, obviously in System 32 as well. So there's quite a bit of malware in app data. Let's look at Northern Party Eraser. All the severities are medium, but program data, app data, directly under my user account, and then Windows as well. So as you guys can see, not looking good, and a couple of entries per malware as well. So let's close that. Okay, let's look at MCsoft. Okay, so quite a bit under app data as well. Okay, then that was also app data, then program data for that one, and then malware on the desktop. Okay, then directly under my account. Okay, then obviously a couple of scheduled tasks that needs to run. So that's a couple of persistent malware. Close that. Malware bytes. Let's just close this as well. Keeps coming up. Okay, location. Okay, so documents and settings, under public, under my account, or that's directly under the C drive. Created this fake account of mine, or folder that's named under my account 2502 2505. Okay, then program data as well. Bunch of stuff under program data, then app data, then obviously the malware on the desktop. Okay, still malware on the desktop. I think there might be a couple of registry keys here. Okay, then obviously task scheduler, that same Skype thing again, and then a couple of registry entries. So yeah, not looking good. We'll close that. Okay, let's look at Process Explorer. I didn't do a scan of the Komodo cleaning essentials, as the scans were just taking super long time. I think if I look at the recording time, I'm already on 8.5 hours recording time. That's how obvious now I have to edit this video big time. But yeah, I tried to record as much as possible, but we're already on 8.5 hours, guys. Things we'll do just to record a video for malware testing. Okay. Still waiting for, okay, good, finally it's open. Okay, let's see if we can see anything interesting. Not that I can see so far. Obviously that's not normal. This task host, obviously that's denied, might have been through the malware cleaning. Not sure what that is. TrendMicro, okay, so that's a TrendMicro service. That's also TrendMicro. Okay, we have the same little pink pigeon thing again. And then we obviously have this, but it says overridden path, so it might just be stuck, partially cleared, maybe out of memory, I'm not sure. That's also not normal. Then it's that same temporary file again, where the hash value or the size has been exceeded, so but it comes from temp, so that's also not supposed to be there. And yeah, not much that I can see, only those 2, maybe 3 entries. Maybe I missed something, you guys can point it out. Let's look at Task Manager. Okay, Task Manager is broken again. Okay, Task Manager is broken, not looking good, guys. Let's look at our files. Okay, desktop seems okay. Our downloads seems okay. That was Adobe Reader that was downloaded with one of the malwares. Documents seems good, and our picture seems good. Oh no, never mind. Same as the web root, if I'm not mistaken. We had the same issue on the web root one, where these files have been encrypted. Okay, so definitely not a clean slate for TrendMicro. I think the worry-free business should be renamed. Please don't tell TrendMicro that, it's just a joke. But yeah, I would definitely start worrying if this was my machine. Not too bad. Luckily, it seems like the test data is intact. You can just format and reload this machine, but definitely failed in my opinion. Let's maybe check Komodo's auto runs. Okay, while we wait for that, let's look at Vipre, Hitman Pro. As you guys can see, no infection, only the one malware on the desktop. We'll look at Norton Pirate, clean, no problems. You'll notice there's no internet connection. There was internet connection when I did the scans. It's only now the last hour or so where the VM lost internet. Our ISP has notified us there's a bit of an outage with the fiber. Okay, let's look at Komodo. Only 3 problems. Program data, and modified hosts. Risk is low. So seems like Komodo is the only one that found 2 problems, but I don't think they say the risk is high. So looks like 2 rootkits. Rootkits are bad, but we'll just keep that in mind. TrendMicro found nothing. Well, it couldn't even protect itself, so I don't think it will find anything. MCSoft says it's clean. And Malwarebytes, only 1. Oh, interesting, cool. Only 1 problem. Wow, that's actually pretty awesome. So yeah, so maybe the 2 rootkits from Komodo, we need to maybe take it with a pinch of salt. Komodo is the only one that picked up these rootkits. Let's say even if there are rootkits, they can be removed via this tool. Rootkits can be a huge problem, or it can will be a huge problem. But let's say for argument's sake, pinch of salt, these 2 rootkits might be false positive. But I would say excellent results from Vipre. Vipre once again really surprised me. The home product did really well, and seems the same for the business. Business did really well. I'm actually quite impressed by Vipre, guys. Considering Vipre for me is one of the underdogs, not really one of the well-known names. TrendMicro, we've known, they've been here for donkey years as well, also a big name. But it just shows you not always the big guys are always the best guys. So there are also a lot of upcoming security vendors. It's maybe a good thing to have a look at their products, give them a chance to prove themselves. I think we're all in the habit of just looking at the big names and trusting in the big names, where there's a lot of other products on the market that can actually do the same or even a better job. And the results show. TrendMicro, big name, failed big time in my opinion. Vipre, I would say definitely passed. Komodo's 2 rootkits, maybe a pinch of salt, much of a muchness. But let's say even if there are rootkits, you can remove it via this tool. But none of the other vendors found anything. So yeah, like I said, it can be a 50-50, could be false positives from Komodo. They're not really high on false positives, they tend to be very accurate, but I think it's excellent results from Vipre, definitely passed in my opinion. TrendMicro not so much. So as you can see here, there's our little pigeon friend again, so that's a startup. So there's app data, so there's another startup here that I think is not supposed to be here. Yeah, so obviously registry keys modified as Malwarebytes also showed us. There's that funny thing that mimics my account, this one here. So yeah, a couple of registry keys, guys, couple of startup items. We'll quickly look at Vipre startup items. I almost forgot. Startup, nothing. Maybe there's one virtual box that's not supposed to be here, but that for me is not a train smash. Register cleaner is from Vipre. So yeah, no startup items. Let's look at our files. Downloads, documents, perfect, no additional stuff, and no encryption. Cool. I would say Vipre definitely passed, flying colors. I would say excellent results. So maybe guys, Vipre is a brand that you guys can maybe look at, give them maybe some love, give them a chance. yeah, I don't actually know what to say anymore. Vipre passed, TrendMicro did not. So let me know what you guys thought about this video. Apologies yet again for the video being so long. I'll obviously edit as much as possible. But TrendMicro was a bit of a naughty boy. You can see with the results why that is. But obviously just wanted to go through eventually getting the final results so that I can show it to you guys. Okay, cool guys. So this was the last of our business comparisons. We've went through all the products. We have Bitcoin and Gravity Zone, but I don't think we're really gonna set it up. We'll see if we can. But we're almost at the end of our trial. We downloaded it, but we never really installed it and set it up, because obviously you get a virtual machine image. You need to mount it, and then from there on. So for me, again, Bitcoin and Gravity Zone, it's tedious to set it up. It's not easy. Dashboard, agent, install, and there you go. We got the 3.5 gig ISO, sorry, not ISO image, Hyper-V image. We need to mount it, so we'll see if we're gonna go through that PT, mount the image, and then see how we need to set up Gravity Zone. But we went through all the other products. Malware bites, I don't think we're gonna do. The salespeople wants to sell us stuff. Sophos, they also want to sell us licenses. We'll later on next year we'll see if we're going to invest money into buying licenses. We don't actually mind. We'll buy home and business licensing, but for now we're just doing it purely as for interest sake, as a hobby. We're not really going to invest any more money. But yeah, let us know what you guys thought about the videos, if there's any versus battles, because obviously you guys have seen the business products we've tested. If you guys want us to sharpen up settings, change more settings, go crazy with settings, do more versus battles, if there's certain vendors that you guys want us to put head and head to one another, let us know. We still have about a week and a half trials left for the majority of the vendors, so we can maybe squeeze in a couple of more videos. If you guys want us to go back to home videos, let us know. But we still have a couple of days left for business testing to be done, so let us know guys. Thanks again for watching. Thanks for all the effort and likes. We do really appreciate everybody's comments. Obviously not everybody will always agree with everyone and testing and such, that's why we're always free to our own opinions, but we do really appreciate everybody's comments. We do take everything to heart. We do really read them, and we do really reply as honest as possible. But anything, if you guys want us to do test, let us know. Until next time guys, see you soon.